It's week 13 in the English Premier League, and these matches were played on the 24th, the 25th, and one match last night on the 26th. Let's start with Saturday's matches, and the pick of the bunch was Spurs at Wembley at home to Chelsea. Chelsea unbeaten. Wembley, well, Spurs got out of the blocks quickly, and Eriksen's free kick was met by Dele's glancing header, and Spurs were 1-up after 8 minutes. Shortly after that, Foyt, who seems to make a habit of this, brought down Hazard in the box, but the referee waved play on. It looked a pen to me. Anyway, the Chelsea defence then a little later backed off Harry Kane, and that was disaster. He hit a shot from outside the box. Luiz managed to turn his back on it, and the keeper watched it roll into the corner. So that was 2-0 Tottenham on 16 minutes. Chelsea's defence all at sea. Into the second half, and Son, just inside the Chelsea half, sprinted down the wing, went past the flagging Jorginho, and went round Luiz before slotting the ball in for number 3. That was 54 minutes. Giroud came on and got a consolation on 85 minutes, but Chelsea's first defeat under Sarri, and they were shocking. Spurs looking very good ahead of the Champions League. So to Craven Cottage, and they were witnessing the arrival of the Tinkerman, Claudio Ranieri. And what an exciting match it was against lowly Southampton. Armstrong got the ball rolling on 18 minutes when he scored a nice goal after some poor Fulham defensive clearing. Good response from Fulham though, and Mitrovic deflected a header in on 33 that crept just inside the post from a pullback from the byline. And then an absolutely tremendous goal saw Sessegnon dance past 2 defenders, and his inch-perfect cross was met by Schuler on 43 minutes to put Fulham in front. Into the second half then, and Southampton came back with some nice football, and Armstrong again with a clinical strike hit the top corner on 53. So 2 each and all to play for. Then Mitrovic managed to grab the winner, a cross from the right, headed on, and his volley steered into the corner on 63. Fulham held on for a much-needed win, and the Tinkerman was happy and smiling. Now across town to the London Stadium, and the champions Manchester City were in town to face West Ham, an improving West Ham. However, City are another kettle of fish, and another dominant City performance with Sane outstanding. How Germany never picked him in the summer, I'll never know. Hammers had moments, but Ederson was sound, and City's defence cool under pressure. Anyway, City got started with a nice move down the right. Sterling, just outside the box, created a yard of space to cross, and Silva, David that is, came in with an audacious flick to put them 1-up on 11 minutes. Shortly after that, Sane escaped a marker on the left and put it on a plate for Sterling. 2-0, 19 minutes. And Sane's brilliance in wrong-footing both defender and keeper in the box completed a great team move to make it 3-0 on 34 minutes. West Ham didn't know what had hit them. Into the second half, and Sane's second in added time completed the rout. It was a nice goal following across from Jesus, and he hit the target through a couple of pairs of legs. It's a bit like pictures of the exhibition, 4-0 to City. Right, off to Vicarage Road now, a stubborn Watford facing Liverpool. It was a disappointing first half, I felt. Went to the break goalless, but in the second half it was a different story. Liverpool upped their game, and Saha poaching swept a left foot cross into the net 5 yards out on 67. A few minutes later, an absolute tremendous strike from Alexander-Arnold from a free kick 30 yards outside, whistled into the right corner on 76. The goalie was statuesque. Firmino added a third, but there was one block on Liverpool's copybook. Henderson got a second yellow for a stupid, cynical block on 82, and Klopp won't be happy about that. Okay, so anyway, Liverpool moved to a 3-0 win and strolled to the finish line. Nice dinked header from Firmino. Watford, well, they fell apart really in the second. Now to Goodison Park, ever improving Everton at home to struggling Cardiff. Cardiff showed stubborn resistance in this match, but they finally, in vain, got done by a nice goal. Sigurdsson finishing off a move to put Everton in front on 59 minutes. They thoroughly deserved the win, the Toffees, but it ended just 1-0. Over to Brighton and the Amex, Leicester in town. Who else but Murray put Brighton in front after 13 minutes, heading in a corner. Okay, it was his 100th Premier League appearance. Then Leicester's Maddison managed to get sent off after getting a second yellow, and it was only 28 minutes on the clock, the second for simulation. Leicester fought bravely with 10, and in the second half, Iheanacho was brought down in the box, and Vardy, who'd come on as a sub, converted emphatically to make it 1-1. A deserved point for Leicester. So to Old Trafford, well, what a dismal affair this was. It ended goalless. It was a dreadfully boring encounter. Palace had the best chance, but Townsend missed a great opportunity and pushed it wide. Can't recall Man U having a shot on goal. Sanchez was playing almost as a front of the back four. What is he doing there? A lot of boos at the end, and deservedly. Right, that's Saturday's fixtures. Sunday's fixtures then. And Bournemouth at the Vitality Stadium at home to Arsenal. It's 10 years since Eddie Howe started his love affair with the Cherries. He did have a short period away at Burnley, but he has actually performed a miraculous job taking Bournemouth from near extinction to the Premier League, and they are performing admirably. So how did it get on against the Gunners? Well, there was an early goal for Brooks that was chalked off for an extremely dodgy offside. It was an exciting competitive match. Arsenal hit a post before a cross from the left from Krasnalic, I hope that pronunciation is correct, was blasted into his own net by Lerner. A fantastic strike. That was on the half hour. On the brink of half time, Bournemouth, with true grit, responded, and a swift counter-attack following an Arsenal corner got its reward, with King completing a nice move and firing the ball home on 46 minutes. The second half, a nice football match to watch. Both sides having their half chances, but on 67 minutes, Iwobi put Klasnasic free on the left. He went to the byline and crossed, and the poacher that he is, Aubameyang, nipped in to secure the winner from a few yards. That was 67 minutes. Bournemouth, well, they kept being positive. They had a few chances, but to no avail. Howard unlucky. But Arsenal's good run continues. So, over to Molineux now. Huddersfield with the visitors. Now, Nino fielded a settled side once again, just one forced injury, but they didn't really turn up. Huddersfield out of the blocks quickly and on 6 minutes went ahead when Moy connected with a cross and found the corner with a low strike. Huddersfield continued to look stronger and were bullying Wills almost two when Patricio saved a Munio header, and a couple of defensive blocks from corners kept Huddersfield at bay. Into the second half and more of the same. Wolves hardly having an impact. They did have a close decision on a shot that didn't cross the line. But to be honest, when Moy stepped up for the free kick and hit his second on 74, it was more than Huddersfield deserved. Wolves never really recovered and they looked overwhelmed by the whistle. So back to the drawing board for Nuno. A wonderful win for Wagner's Huddersfield, and they're out of the bottom three. To the Monday night match, I saw brief highlights of this. The first half was very, very exciting. Both sides at the wrong end of the table. The Magpies started well, and a Fernandez shot was deflected in off me in just 4 minutes to put Newcastle ahead. And they were at it again when a deflected cross was headed in by Kieran Clark on 23 minutes. But Burnley responded with a Vokes header on 40 that caught Dubrovka off his line. Second half wasn't quite up to that. First half flurry. A bit of unlucky Burnley, to be frank, but Newcastle took the points. Benitez absolutely delighted as they're up to 14th now. Amazing, isn't it? So anyway, that's the show for this week, the results show. The goal of the week, it's got to be that team goal by City and then that mesmerising Sane in the box, leaving the defender and goalkeeper completely flat-footed. Marvellous piece of skill. And that's my goal of the week.